Welcome. It's good to have you join us on Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Lydia Bassi. General Secretary of the United Nations World Tourism Organization, Taleb Rufai, says the Chinese outbound tourism component of the just concluded 59th African Ministers of Tourism meeting in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, is a major breakthrough for tourism development in Africa. Taleb Rufai stated this in an interview with newsmen in Addis Ababa. Anthony Forson reports.
The Chinese outbound tourism for Africa was discussed at a high-level session where it was discovered that China has over 140 million tourists annually with a monetary involvement of over $3 billion. This volume, Africa's take, is a paltry 3%. A situation Taleb Rufai says is unacceptable and must be reversed, hence the meeting.
It implies a great deal. This is the first time that African ministers and African countries come together and present themselves as one continent, one destination, one brand Africa, and connects with a great source market like China. Because what we need to do is actually promote ourselves. We think that people should come to us by themselves. They won't come unless they hear very clearly, "Welcome to Africa."
On Nigeria's tourism potentials, Taleb Rufai spoke glowingly about Nigeria.
We've been missing Nigeria for a long period of time. Nigeria is a major player. Nigeria is 1/3 of Africa in terms of numbers, and even more than that in terms of the weight and what it represents. The energy that comes out of Nigeria is enough to disseminate for the whole world. I am very, very optimistic about the presence of the minister here. This new Minister of Tourism of Nigeria, he is a fascinating personality. He understands exactly what needs to be done. He's brought life and optimism. I'm absolutely sure that not only will be Nigeria hosting the next CAF meeting in 2018, between now and then, you will see that Nigeria's tourism industry is going to be on the right track and is going to achieve results.
The United Nations World Tourism Organization Secretary General expressed optimism that Nigeria is at the verge of making its diversification drive a reality with a present focus on the creative industry. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Nigeria and the People's Republic of China have been long-standing partners. For almost 50 years, both countries have shared bilateral trade relationships. The Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Dr. Zhu Pinjiang, says he is optimistic there are enhanced grounds now to widen the scope of relationship. Anthony Forson has more. Timothy Yusuf has more on this.
For 2 consecutive years, Nigeria has remained 152 out of 188 countries and territories on the human.
I apologize for the wrong film on that report. We go on now. Another batch of 25 Niger Delta youths who participated in the 1-month training on fish production, ICT, entrepreneurial skills, and business development in Ibadan have graduated with a charge on them to utilize the startup capital in commencing micro enterprises. The Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, represented by the Minister's Principal Agricultural Officer, Henry Abiye, described the training and empowerment program as impactful and in line with President Buhari's quest in creating gainful employment and curbing youth restiveness in the region.
They have to take this training seriously, and that the seed capital or the startup capital that has been provided should be used to, get themselves self-employed and also add value to their community.
This training has brought a lot of potential out of this wonderful youth, and if such a training continues like this, I'm telling you, you'll be marveled at the results that we get in Nigeria.
We learned about fish production, how we can produce our fish from fingerlings to the table size.
The graduates were optimistic that their certificates and the knowledge gained at the training would make them self-reliant and employers of labor. We now go back to our last story. Nigeria and the People's Republic of China have been long-standing partners for almost 50 years. Both countries have shared bilateral trade relationships. The Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Dr. Zhu Pinjiang, says he is optimistic there are enhanced grounds now to widen the scope of relationship. Timothy Yusuf has more on this.
Nigeria's diplomatic relationship with the People's Republic of China dates back to the early 1970s. It is one bilateral relationship that many believe have evolved faster than any other and have also made far-reaching impact. Riding on this, economic experts are convinced deepened partnership with China is very crucial for the country's Vision 2020. In widening the horizon of this partnership, both countries are looking to the agricultural sector.
At the time, Nigeria's economy depended on agriculture, but when oil came, the whole thing changed.
The Chinese ambassador to Nigeria says the prevailing peace in the country, especially in the northeast, gives them confidence to foster the relationship in diverse areas.
With more enabling environment, we could expect more investment in the agriculture field, manufacturing sector, and as I said, in implementing Nigeria's ERGP, China will always be a reliable partner.
The ambassador observed various fiscal and monetary policies of government and commended these efforts to beat back recession. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
In a bold move to prevent and eradicate illegal ownership of small and light weapons, the presidency has started drawing up rules of a whistleblower mechanism to throw a spotlight on the regime of gun ownership and control in the country. A statement by the Senior Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says, in line with presidential directives, the National Security Advisor, Babagana Monguno, has begun work on a template for the discovery and recovery of illegal weapons through a reward system following the success of the whistleblower policy under the Federal Ministry of Finance. The statement further says the Office of the National Security Advisor, which already has a committee on the recovery of small arms and light weapons in the country, has decided to adopt the whistleblower approach so as to eradicate mass shooting incidents and remove the harassment of law-abiding citizens by holders of illegal weapons. Still on security matters, the Nigerian Army has recovered a large cache of arms 3 days after the launch of a special operation Harbin Kunama to flush out armed bandits from southern Kaduna. Brigadier General Sani Usman, the Director of Army Public Relations, in a statement said the arms and ammunition were discovered when troops embarked on a cordon and search of Gwaska and Gwanfar and Bakin Kogi general area of southern Kaduna. The statement says efforts are ongoing to track down owners of the arms and ammunition. The Army expresses gratitude to the people of the area who have been supportive and cooperating with the military. Nigerian military has been challenged to carry out more research projects in enhancing its weapon capabilities. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olonishakin, stated this at the Nigeria Air Force Air Power Display in Makudi. Defense correspondent Isaac Nkuma has the details.
Combat aircraft of the Nigerian Air Force in a display of tactical maneuvers and delivery of firepower simulating air interdiction missions in the theater of war. 4 aircraft types are deployed, comprising the Augusta, L-39ZA, Alpha Jets, and the F-7NI. The exercise, known as Air Weapons Meet, is part of activities commemorating the Air Force 53rd anniversary.
I'm really impressed by what I've seen, and of course the essence is to sharpen their skills, and as they sharpen their skills, this will reflect in our operations, in subsequent operations, and in our present operations we are having in the Northeast and other operations within the country.
Our desire is to keep training and retraining so that Nigeria would have a very professional Air Force. And in terms of the Northeast, like you know, we have been there, we continue to be there, and our desire is to make sure that we have a stable environment.
It was also an avenue to test launch a locally manufactured ground-to-air rocket launcher, a product of the Nigerian Air Force Research and Development Unit. The firing sequence for aircraft and ground-based platforms held at the Kwenev shooting range, Makurdi. Isaac Unkuma, NTA News.
The House of Representatives says its main preoccupation on resuming from break is the passage of the 2017 budget. The Chairman House Committee on Rules and Business, Emmanuel Okejev, said this in an exclusive interview with NTA News, and National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Unko reports.
On the 11th of April 2017, the National Assembly embarked on a 2-week Easter break. Before its adjournment, Speaker House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara directed all standing committees to submit their 2017 budget report to the Appropriation Committee for consideration. The House says it recognizes the fact that anything short of passing the 2017 budget will not be appreciated by Nigerians.
When we are back, the budget will be passed, because that is what is on the list of every Nigerian. And of course, that is topmost priority for the House.
And then the issue of diversification of the Nigerian economy away from oil to agriculture are very key components. And as such, the House will be focus its attention on the passage of the 2017 budget before the expiration of the tenure of the 2016 budget in early May.
20 motions and bills have been scheduled for consideration in the first week of its resumption.
For instance, there's a bill to amend the School Year Variation Act. It will be coming up for second reading. Also coming up for second reading during the week will be a bill for Act to amend the Nigerian Law Reform Commission Act of 2004.
Items on the order paper of the House for Tuesday may be stepped down as a mark of respect for the late Senator Ishaka Adeleke. At the moment, activities are gradually returning to the National Assembly complex in preparation for resumption. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Unko, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide. Security operatives on counter-insurgency and medical outreach. Details of this and more with Vera in our Lagos Network Center. Over to you, Vera.
Good evening and welcome to Lagos. Counter-insurgency and terrorism can be quashed through adequate intelligence operation and information gathering. This the Nigerian Navy has brought to bear in its quest to rid the country of Boko Haram attacks. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai disclosed this while playing host to his Bangladesh counterpart at the Flag House in Lagos. Abolade Salami has the report.
Well, Nigerian Army in recent times have had to engage the Boko Haram sect in an unconventional warfare in order to restore peace and reclaim captured territories in some northern parts of the country. To employ other strategic means of combating terrorism and insurgency in the country, the Nigerian Army is strengthening its synergy with its Bangladesh counterparts, who over the years had battled with insurgency and defeated it. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai emphatically stated that the Army remained resolute in its fight against insurgency in Nigeria. He added that over the years, the Nigerian Army was involved in several operations, notably peacekeeping, internal security, and lately, the fight against Boko Haram terrorists.
They have had great experiences in counter-insurgency, and I would like the experience, to be brought to bear, on our own also. So the synergy, that is what we require.
While sharing ideas and successes recorded in counter-insurgency, his Bangladesh counterpart, General Habibalal Shafiq, says Bangladesh Army will collaborate with the Nigerian Army in the area of defeating terrorism in the country.
So we have a long experience in doing that, and there everything together we took into consideration while fighting the insurgency. We can share our experience with Nigerian Army and also our experience in the UN mission.
The Army General was thereafter shown some facility in the Flag House. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
The Western Naval Command of the Nigerian Navy has flagged off its second quarter help awareness week with a visit to motor parks in Lagos. The flag officer commanding Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Ferguson Bubai, said the exercise is in line with the social responsibility program of the Nigerian Navy. Rotimi Oluwagbemi has details.
Residents as well as market women converge on Alayabiagba Motor Park in Apapa Jegule to be part of the free service organized by Command. Some of the services provided include free HIV test, distribution of mosquito-treated nets, and condoms to prevent sexually transmitted diseases. The flag officer commanding Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Fagus Bubai, said the event is aimed at bringing medical services to the less privileged in the society.
We have some contemporary issues in the health sector bordering in the nation, and we have keyed into the issue of depression. We have keyed into the issue of meningitis, which are very key issues in discourse.
Let them know that HIV is still very much around with us. It has not gone away yet.
There was an enlightenment session that enabled participants to ask questions as regarded to their health challenges. Some of the beneficiaries comment.
It's quite commendable. And in fact, today I'm impressed.
This is how poor people can benefit in this Nigeria. So I say, may God bless them.
I thank federal government for what they are doing because it's a very good program.
The one-week event, according to the organizer, will feature lecture on meningitis and other health-related issues in the society. In Lagos, Rotimi Oluwagbemi, NTA News.
1,000 micro, small, and medium enterprises are to benefit from the 25 million naira Lagos State Employment Trust Fund before the end of this month. This is part of efforts to reduce unemployment and create wealth. Governor Akinwumi Ambode disclosed this during an interactive session with residents of Shibiri-Ikonkwa in Oto, Awori Local Council Development Area, Ojo, at the 27th second quarterly town hall meeting in Lagos. Victoria Olabode reports.
Highlighting some of his major achievements, Governor Akinwumi Ambode said all parts of the state will be developed to decentralize commercial activities that might lead to congestion in some areas of the state.
We are actually targeting all our artisans. So the carpenters, the bricklayers, those selling cement, those selling sand, those doing those little jobs that even if it's a minimum of 5,000 naira they take home every day, we're happy that at least we're able to sustain their families, and that's why we're doing it in every part.
The governor also urged youths and women to access various opportunities on the platform of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. Governor Ambode at the forum ordered that 250 handicaps be employed into the Lagos State Civil Service in the next 2 weeks.
We must not disenfranchise those who are fiscally challenged due to no fault of theirs. So obviously, Ministry of Social Development should take immediate action on issues that relate to fiscally challenged people, and they must be part of the inclusion we are talking about.
Residents of Shibiri-Ikonkwa during an interactive session bore their minds by presenting numerous requests that were immediately granted and responded to by the governor. In Lagos, Victoria Olabode, NTA News.
Nigerian women have been challenged to live exemplary life while aspiring to leadership positions. This is to enable them to make meaningful contributions to nation building. Superintendent, Lagos Township or the United Evangelical Church, Reverend Sunday Ibukaibi, gave the charge at the 50th Biennial Women Fellowship Convention of the Church in Lagos. Jane Ojukwu has a report.
The three-day event, which came to a climax, was a gathering of women of United Evangelical Church from all over Lagos. It seeks to empower women in all spheres, including spiritually, emotionally, and economically.
If we fix our trust in Him alone, definitely we are going to overcome all those challenges.
Your example should be in words, in faith and purity.
We learn how to train up our children.
The Superintendent, United Evangelical Church, Reverend Sunday Ibukaibi, in his message titled Benefits of Exemplary Believers, noted that in spite of the vices and societal challenges that currently hold sway, a true believer can still make a difference and be a shining light that draws people to God. As women, the clergyman said, their potential to stabilize and illuminate their families, the society, and the nation as a whole cannot be undermined.
It is also very possible that the women of this day can make impact in governance.
The women also had an opportunity to showcase the products of their empowerment program. In Lagos, Jane Ojukwu, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide News on the NTA Network Service. It's now back to Lydia for more on the news. Good evening.
Thanks, Vera. The federal government is resolved to use the UNDP Human Development Report as a tool to make targeted policies to address inequality to improve Nigeria's human development indices. To this effect, a human development report for the Northeast to address low indices resulting from security challenges facing the region is underway. Minister of State for Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed said this on Good Morning Nigeria. Lydia Sampson reports.
For 2 consecutive years, Nigeria has remained 152 out of 188 countries and territories on the Human Development Index. Guests in Good Morning Nigeria, however, say the economic recovery plan just launched and other measures being taken by government, such as the social development program, will reverse the trend.
We budget 500 billion and the same amount in 2017. But also the spending on education has increased significantly. The spending on health has significantly increased, and also so is the spending on environment. Those are welfare spend that is aiding government to meet its responsibility of providing better welfare for the citizens.
The guest noted that reducing the 13 million unemployed in Nigeria and bridging the gap between boys and girls education, rural and urban dwellers, as well as other vulnerable groups, are key to improving human development.
Women and girls are being left behind. They are being disadvantaged when we're talking about human development. And even in Nigeria, we can see that in terms of, if you don't have access or opportunity to have a good education, whether primary, secondary, and when you're even talking about tertiary, that's another issue. And obviously this will impact on access to employment and implications of raising a family and so on.
We need to recognize that when we lift issues of women above where they are, it's not because we want women to take over control over men. It's not about who has the power over the other. It's about a country that needs to make progress using all its human potential.
The panelists urged Nigeria to take advantage of our natural resources for human development and reiterated the need for all Nigerians to be on board to help change the narrative by engaging in productive ventures. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The wife of the president, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has emphasized on the need for relevant stakeholders to invest in out-of-school teenage girls in an effort to improve girl enrollment in both primary and secondary schools. This was in a message conveyed by her representative, the senior special assistant to the president, Dr. Hajo Sani, at a side event of the just concluded 50th session of United Nations Commission on Population and Development, which took place at the UN headquarters in New York. Dr. Hajo Sani reiterated the efforts of the wife of the president under her Future Assured program in advocating for the promotion of girl, child, and vocational education in Nigeria. Through the gesture, she added thousands of women are being trained in fashion design, interior decoration, cosmetics development, leatherwork, amongst others. The program, with the theme Investing in Out-of-School Teenage Girls, a priority for achieving demographic dividend, sustainable development, and specific SDGs in Africa, was jointly organized by UNFDA, Ministry of Women Affairs, and Nigeria's permanent mission to the UN. A book titled Perception has been presented to the public in Abuja. Musa Abubakar was at the presentation.
And in the name of God, the Holy Spirit.
The 77-page literary work is a collection of 44 poems that capture the author's outlook about life, family, career, faith, and philosophy, gathered over a period of 23 years.
The book is very useful to the public in the sense that it covers various aspects. People that are discouraged, people that are bereaved. There's one of the points that said, accept my sympathy. There's another one that said, I miss you.
It's a good read. Preparing for this, I had to read it over and over, and I'm so glad because even the wordings of that poem have ministered to me.
A review of the book unveiled insightful themes such as The True Leader, Mystery Bird, and Obudu, amongst other poems.
There is one that qualifies Dele Arugundade for national honors. It is titled Land of My Dreams, Nigeria. I love it because if there is indeed reincarnation, I would love to come back as a Nigerian.
Sunday morning were days I read poetry. This one I'll read, by the grace of God, but it will not be on Sunday morning.
A true help in times of need and always.
What is it about you that pulls me in every time I want to go?
Part of the proceeds of the book launch will be dedicated to a foundation. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Kaduna said government tasks worrying communities to assist the military tame crisis. Zille brings us up to speed with stories making rounds in Kaduna and environs. Zille, over to you.
Thank you, Lydia. Good evening and welcome.
We apologize for the poor audio coming from that end. You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. You are watching Nationwide on the NTA. Let's pause for some messages. More reports shortly. Stay with us.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains. Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
And counter-terrorism initiatives in focus on this week's edition of Tuesday Live. Tuesday Live, incisive, informative and educative. Don't miss it.
You know, after 4 years of marriage, he still treats me like we're married today. You're so lucky.
I am. I wish I were you.
God, why? Why me?
I wish I was in your shoes. Let us swap positions. We all say these words, but wait a moment. Look beneath the surface. All that glitters may not be gold. The style of Joe may not look good on Peter.
All these boys wearing body hug up and down, making guy left, right, and center. Are they better than me?
You always look mature in your agbada. So what is this you're wearing today?
Your rib-cracking comedy. Professor John Bull tackles another social issue in Copy. Those who wish to be like others.
Look at me going to a supermarket with common 100 naira bread when my mates are buying things worth 35,000 naira.
No two fingers are equal. Every family must live within their means.
Showing at 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday on NTA Network International and Star Times.
Over and out.
Brought to you by Glow.
Welcome to the new speed of life.
Hi there, my name is Fumi Wakama of the NTA. I'd like to introduce to you my friend and colleague, hardworking, creative and vibrant reporter,
Ruben Okala, NTA News.
Ruben Okala, the saint as we all call him. All this while we thought Saint Ruben is just a crack reporter, but he's also a great musician. I'd like like to invite you to the public presentation of his album titled Breaking News, coming up on Saturday, the 29th of April 2017 at the Arts and Culture Center opposite UTC, Area 10, Abuja at 4 o'clock in the evening. Red carpet starts at 3 p.m. I will be there. I hope to see you there.
NTA Television College Jos, an affiliate of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, has maintained her reputation of putting together courses that are highly relevant to manpower needs of the broadcast industry. The college has put together 4 weeks course on English grammar and pronunciation for broadcasters, presenters, scriptwriters, news editors, journalists, and master compares. Date 22nd May to 16th June 2017. Registration fee 80,000 naira with accommodation. TV College also has a 4 weeks course on specialized reporting to cater for those that want to learn the skills of reporting from judiciary, crime, conflict zones, environment, business, natural disasters, politics, and health. The course will teach you the ways to write and handle stories with peculiar situations. Registration fee 80,000 naira with accommodation. Date 19th June to 14th July 2017. Venue of all courses will take place at NTA Television College, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, contact us on 0806 980 9807 0703 660 7155 or email us at ntacollege@gmail.com. NTA Television College Jos, training you to be the best you can be.
This is television reborn. Enjoy more than 200 channels. No decoder needed. The real digital TV is here. Star Times Digital TVs.
With Star Times, you're always a step higher with hype, non-stop entertainment. Watch telenovelas that will keep you glued to your seat on Star Times Novella E1. It's action time for mind-blowing moves that you can only see on Star Times Kung Fu. With E! Entertainment, keep up with Hollywood celebrities' hot gossip. Question no more. IDX got y'all as they reveal the untold. Any day is fun day after school for your kids on Pop. Enjoy your favorite Indian shows in 8 different languages on Star Times Bollywood. Your health, your life. Keep it locked on Star Times Sports Life for tips. Pay 1 month basic bouquet and get 7 days of classic bouquet for free. Subscribe now. Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
Thanks for being there. DIG of Police visits Rivers Command as government urges youths to surrender arms. Let's now join Mina in our Port Harcourt Network Center for details and more on Nationwide. Good afternoon, Mina. Over to you.
Hello, Lydia. Good afternoon and welcome to Port Harcourt. The Nigerian police has revealed plans to expand its command base across the country for enhanced security and protection of lives and property. Deputy Inspector General of Police Training, Emmanuel Inyang, disclosed this on his working visit to the Rivers State Command. Robertson Deratade has details.
The visit of the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Emmanuel Inyang, in charge of training in the South-South region, was to assess the security situation in the region, with a view to identifying the challenges. DIG Yang commended Rivers State government and the traditional institutions for the current state of peace in the state, adding there are plans to create 3 more commands from each state of the Federation to boost security network nationwide.
As criminal strategizers, we have to re-strategize. So I've moved around as encouragement, and also you find out the package we have to encourage you people as police officers.
The DIG appealed to officers to exhibit high-level discipline and professionalism in the discharge of their duties, stating that promotions will come when due. He also told them of the housing scheme to reduce accommodation challenges. Rivers State Commissioner of Police Zaki Ahmed stressed on the need for synergy between the police and the public.
With the visit of the DIG, we are inspired to do more. But again, we need the synergy and partnership of the good people of the state by collaborating with us to fight and smash these mindless criminals.
In Port Harcourt, Ifoma Omesa, NTA News.
Thank you, Ifoma Omesa, for presenting that report. The 115 Special Operations Group, Nigerian Air Force, Port Harcourt, has embarked on a medical outreach to Rumokrushi community in commemoration of the 53rd anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force. This initiative is aimed at impacting positively to the society where the 115 Special Operation Group operates. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
Rumokrushi is in the Obiakpo local government area, and the outreach by the Nigerian Air Force is part of its activities lined up to mark the force's 53rd anniversary this year. Wing Commander G.K. Luka, who led the Air Force medical outreach, said it is in line with the directive of the Chief of Air Staff that the force reaches out to the communities around the operational area towards giving back to the society.
Chief of Air Staff directed us as part of the celebration we should conduct medical outreaches to communities around us.
Some of the beneficiaries were glad that this medical outreach is coming at a time many are facing economic challenges, noting that it would help them address their medical needs.
Many people now, you know the situation of Nigeria. They have sickness, no money to go and treat themselves. And I brought this thing to them. I said, God will help them.
While there were general medical tests and treatment for the patients, some of them equally went home with drugs and mosquito-treated nets. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
The Amnesty Committee of the Nigerian Rivers State Government has given the people of Gokana 1 week within which to mobilize its youths for disarmament. The chairman of the Amnesty program, Sir Ken Chinda, gave the directive during a visit to the area. Kingsley Amajiri once again reports.
For the 5th time, the Amnesty Committee had visited Gokana and declined to grant amnesty to cultists in Gokana due to what the committee observed as insincerity on the part of the people to embrace the program. Accompanied by the Secretary to the River State Government, Kenneth Kobane, Commissioner for Finance, Fred Bako, and the CTC Chairman, the Amnesty Committee granted the community another 7 days to embrace the gesture.
So please, come to the center here with the arms. We no longer have Daybam and Daywell or Iceland in Gokana local government area. Am I correct?
Some of the boys who presented obsolete ammunition to the committee said the guns belonged to the communities. They claimed the traditional rulers they bombed, maintaining that the communities do not own any dangerous weapons. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Port Harcourt. Lydia is back to you for the rest of Nationwide.
Many thanks, Mina. Senator representing Bauchi South Senatorial District Ali Wakili has commended President Muhammadu Buhari for approving capital projects worth billions of naira in his constituency and for appointments of some Bauchi State indigents to man some federal government establishments. He made the commendation while addressing his constituents in Benue area of the state. Adamu Haruna Adams reports.
Senator Ali Wakili was in Bununu to give some stipend to 96 women and young men as part of the ongoing empowerment program of the lawmaker. The lawmaker urged his constituents to continue to pray for President Muhammadu Buhari and also inform them of impending billion of naira capital projects the federal government will carry out in the constituency.
The president, through the instrumentality of the budget, has approved graciously for the construction of a road from Bulga that goes through Dul to Mbadda, Mbaddu, through Gobia to Gwaranga to Sum. The total cost of about 13.something billion.
He was also at Kandahar and Abuja Quarter areas of the Bauchi metropolis to inspect some of his constituency projects in the areas. While addressing his constituents at the sites of the projects, he also advised them to remain with the APC as it is the only party capable of overcoming challenges bedeviling the country. In Bauchi, Adamu Haruna Adams, NTA News.
We now go back to our Kaduna Network Center, where reports about Kaduna State government tasking warring communities to assist the military team crisis. Zule is still standing by. She will bring us up to speed with stories making the rounds in Kaduna and environs. Back to you, Zule.
So much, Lydia, and thanks for rejoining us in Kaduna. Religious leaders have been told to imbibe the spirit of humanity in tackling ethnic and religious crises as well as terrorism. This was the consensus among religious leaders brought together with a view to brainstorm and find ways of sustaining peaceful coexistence. Muhammad Abdullahi reports.
Religious, ethnic crisis, the menace of insurgency have become part of the daily headlines in Nigeria. This has led to colossal loss of lives and property. Many have pointed out that this is a consequence of perpetual corruption, abject poverty and illiteracy. The Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa, JIABA, believes that religious leaders can play critical roles in the propagation of peaceful coexistence and sensitizing their followers on the dangers of money laundering and terrorist financing.
Would want the religious leaders also to join us in fighting against money laundering and terrorism financing. They are influential people, they are leaders, others follow them.
Religious leaders insist that tackling insurgency, ethnic and religious crisis, as well as terrorist financing, must go beyond mere talking from the pulpits and walk in the talks.
I think really that is why we must all stand up together for life, irrespective of whose life it is. But Nigeria, this is not the best of times for our country. We are losing human lives, so our resources are unaccounted for.
If the talking comes from the heart, then it makes impact onto the congregation, and I think we can make a headway.
Religious leaders are expected to spend 2 days sharing ideas on how to keep the peace. In Kaduna, Abdullah Muhammad, NTA News.
As part of activities to mark the 53rd anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force, about 1,000 people have been targeted for free medical services by the command in Kaduna. Air Officer Commanding Training Command Air Vice Marshal Christopher Emeka Okoye stated this while flagging off the medical services at Barakallahu Primary School, Kaduna. Hassan Lawa Shetima has the details.
The free medical service carried out by the Nigerian Air Force, Kaduna, at Barakallahu community is aimed at keeping people in the neighboring community healthy and fit. They target various health challenges such as diabetes, hypertension, hepatitis B, among others. Air Officer Commanding Training Command, Air Vice Marshal Christopher Okoye, said the gesture is aimed at enhancing cordial relationship with the community. He pledged their cooperation in the area of security, assuring the community of reconstructing 4 boreholes. He stressed that the exercise will be carried out in many communities across the state, with 1,000 people expected to benefit from the gesture.
Chief of Air Staff said that we should organize a medical outreach that should touch the lives of the society where we are staying. If there are anybody whose case we cannot handle here in the field, we'll take it to the base and it's still free of charge.
Some beneficiaries comment on the gesture.
You can tell him thank you and nothing passed like that.
Suleiman Ibrahim, who spoke on behalf of the community, described the gesture as commendable.
In fact, it highly impressed me, and I will extend what I have seen to the district head whom I am representing today, who will as well inform the MS Palace about the contribution made by the Nigeria Air Force.
Barakallahu community under Igabi local government hosts large number of people of different ethnic backgrounds. In Kaduna, I am Hassan Lawan Shattima, NTA News.
Meanwhile, in what appears to be a deliberate effort to curtail the security challenges in some parts of southern Kaduna and Nigeria at large, the Nigerian Army has convened a town hall meeting with stakeholders in the region on the need for collaboration on how best to checkmate the crisis. Ahmed Mohammed Usman has the details.
Town hall meeting that brought together all the traditional rulers from the affected communities, aggrieved parties, and other stakeholders was meant to find a lasting solution to the incessant threat posed to the general well-being of not only the local government affected, the state, but the country at large. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukurisu Buratai was represented by the General Officer Commanding 1 Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Adeni Oyebade.
The Nigerian Army, as part of
constitutional mandate to ensure the territorial integrity of Nigeria, as well as to secure the lives and property of every Nigerian.
Deputy Governor of Kaduna State, Barnabas Balab, comment.
I hope that the leaders will take the advantage and work towards bringing lasting peace to the region.
We need to avoid too much rumors. We need to avoid too much of, provocative statements.
Some participants interviewed have this to say.
We are ready to cooperate at all times to go into dialogue with government and profile our own suggestions as to the solutions.
It's time for them to drop their weapons, to stop the hatred, to start thinking of what they want to be in the future.
Islam encourages us to partake in any dialogue that will bring about peace and harmony.
This is the latest in the effort Nigerian army, among others, are making to address security challenges bedeviling some local governments in southern Kaduna that, if not checked, can have spillover effect. In Kaduna, Haman Muhammad Usman, NTA News.
And that's our beat from here. It's back to Lydia in Abuja for more Nationwide. Good evening.
Many thanks, Zale. Next is a quick stop to our Makudi Network Center with agriculture making top stories. Susan is our guide. Hello, Susan. Good to see you.
See you, Lydia, and welcome to Makudi. Governor Darius Dixon Ishaku of Taraba State says farmers will continue to receive support from the government to boost agriculture and make it more attractive. Joseph Sound Woodsen reports that this was during the distribution of farm inputs to farmers in Jalingo to mark the 2017 farming season.
As the 30 metric tons of fertilizer procured by the Taraba state government begins to arrive the state, the administration has wasted no time to launch the sales of the farm inputs so that farmers will access them on time to boost yields. Flagging off the sales of the fertilizer subsidized by the state government, Governor Darius Dixon Ishaku disclosed that the NPK and urea fertilizers, which cost the state government 6,000 naira per bag, will be sold to the farmers at a subsidized rate of 4,500 naira. The governor also launched the distribution of farm inputs, PME 419 cassava stem, to the Secretary Cassava Growers Association, Taraba State Chapter, and distributed special sesame seeds for high quality and quantitative yields.
I must sound a note of warning that these agricultural inputs I am flagging off today must reach the targeted people.
The State Commissioner of Agriculture, Dr. David Ishaya, said the fertilizers are the best product in the market. In Jalingo, Joseph Sound Woodsen, NTA News.
Meanwhile, farmers in Benue State have appealed to the government at all levels to assist them in the area of farm inputs by way of subsidy to encourage agriculture and boost food production. This appeal is necessitated as farming activities pick up in the state as a result of the onset of the rainy season. Elias Itiav has more.
With the coming of the rainy season, farmers are busy on their farms, engaging in one form of agricultural endeavor or the other.
For some farmers, it is time for cultivation and planting of various crops, while for others, they are putting in place last-minute preparation on their farmlands. Some farmers say government should ensure the prompt supply of inputs such as fertilizers to enable farmers access them on time.
When we found we don't have any chemical to apply on it. I don't have a fertilizer. I don't have a spreading chemical.
They also called on the government to address the issue of herdsmen attack on communities, which is already causing food shortage.
Farming now is the most important and is the most vibrant business on the ground today.
Program Manager, Benue State Agricultural Development Agency, Benada, Mr. James K., advised farmers to plant only early maturing seeds in order not to be caught up with early cessation of rainfall as predicted by NIMET.
We expect fertilizers to be applied by May, June, so I think if they arrive as expected, farmers will not have cause to complain or any cause for alarm.
According to the farmers, practical measures must be put in place if Benue State is to live up to its appellation as a food basket of the nation. In Makudi, Elias, Etiaf, NTA News.
Lydia in Abuja for more on NTA Nationwide.
Thank you, Susan. The realization that Boko Haram insurgents use fertilizer as one of the chemical components in making improvised explosive devices, IEDs, by concerned authority further restricted its easy access to farmers in Borno State. Paulid Kujevana has a situation from Maiduguri.
The Boko Haram insurgency, which led to the displacement of people, also affected the farming population in Borno State, which used to represent 70% of the total population. This situation was worsened by the inability of farmers to get access to fertilizer as a result of the restriction on the supply of the commodity resulting from insurgents.
All these stores have urea, but because of the security situation, we cannot be able to sell to people. Because if you want to buy urea now, you have to go to your local government chairman to put hand for you.
We're not going to distribute fertilizer anyhow as before because of the insurgency problem. The Borno State government is making all its effort to purchase more fertilizer and want to distribute to the real farmers.
But the growth enhancement scheme of the federal government could have helped.
The GS came and contacted us, but all is the same problem, the insurgency problem. And then we programmed everything, but we couldn't get it started.
However, Borno State government says it has never relented in procuring and distributing fertilizers to farmers, and plans are on the way to revive the fertilizer production plant in Maiduguri.
By the present arrangement of the FEP zone and then the federal government, we've also decided to let our own be used for the purpose of blending fertilizers. And some other states that do not have it can take their own portions from here too. And even some other countries. So it's a large one.
Farmers in central and northern parts of the state are expected to also benefit from this year's fertilizer supply. Paul Nkujovana, NTA News.
And now sports. National Sports Federation elections to hold May 30 after guidelines amendment as 2017 Pinnacle Amateur Gold Opens ends in Kaduna. Dende Sani is our guide on sports.